You know, one thing that I miss about the beginning of my collecting days was the simplicity of it all. I would go on, look at reviews, buy a fragrance based off of said reviews. I would get it in the mail. I would pick it up, smell it, think it smelled great, and I would wear it for anything. Anytime, anywhere, any situation, I would wear that fragrance until I'd pick up the next one. Similar deal, rinse and repeat. Now I'm wearing that one for a while. Until I started to dive into the community and I saw people talking about summer fragrances and winter fragrances and office fragrances and so on and so forth. Then I got incredibly confused because I'm like, okay, how are people identifying these different types of fragrances, right? And it took me the better part of a couple years probably to really get down and get it through my head and understand just how all of these different types of fragrances are being determined and classified and that sort of thing. It can get a little bit confusing and a little bit stressful. And for this video, I don't want anything to do with any of that. On this channel, of course, I do talk about certain fragrances being, you know, ideal and suited for certain situations. And as you get further into the hobby, you'll find that you enjoy that process of it. But today I want to talk about ultimately extremely versatile fragrances. Like, these should be in the Hall of Fame for the sheer amount of versatility that they have. You can wear these anytime, anywhere, any situation, and for that matter, any age. Doesn't matter how old or how young you are, these can be pulled off. It literally does not get easier than this list right here. If you don't want to stress yourself out and you don't want to overthink it, pick up any of these 10 or a handful of them. So I will provide links to these down below as per usual to discounters. And I do also want to point you into the direction of my community tab. I'm posting great deals over there every day, multiple times a day. So get subscribed just so you see those show up. You don't want to miss out on any rare discontinued things or really good deals. So subscribing will help you see those posts. They'll show up in your subscription feed and all that sort of thing. So that way you can save a lot of money and get some cool stuff. First up, I can't make a video talking about versatility without mentioning the king of versatility, Versace Pour Homme, or as they like to call it, Versace Signature. It's in the name. This is a signature fragrance, and they don't want you to forget that. This one's got neroli, a bunch of citrus like lemon, bergamot, musk, some light woods in here. It's a little bit creamy, but very bright, very fresh, very uplifting. And this is the pinnacle of versatile men's fragrances right here. Next up, we have Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir. This is going to be the Eau de Toilette Extreme. So out of the entire line, this is going to be the freshest. Don't see Eau de Toilette Extreme and think that it's going to be, you know, like a sweet flanker or a heavy or rich one. It's in the opposite direction. And that also is kind of made known by the frosted glass look of this one. I love the bottle. I think it looks very nice. The cap is clear on this rather than blue. So they give you some visual cues as well to kind of guide you in the direction of what this smells like. It's got musk. It has ice of all notes. Some citruses in here. Some light woods. This line is all about the woods and the vetiver. There's still some vetiver going on, but it's heavily focused on the citrus and this very light, white, clean musk accord going on in here. And then just, you know, easy on the woods. Nothing too strong, nothing too dry, but it smells amazing. You know, this is super easy to pull off in a multitude of different situations. And if the originals of this line, you know, Bleu Noir, EDT, EDP, even the Parfum, if those are just a little bit too much for you and you want to dial it back, you can't go wrong with this. It smells great. Great compliment getter, easy to wear, and pretty affordable. Next up, a fragrance that's really grown on me. I really enjoy it a lot now. I wear it quite often just when I'm hanging out around the house. It's Ralph's Club Eau de Parfum by Ralph Lauren. Look, this is going to be more of your typical style men's fragrance, being that it's got some freshness mixed with some sweetness. Kind of think something like YSL EDP inspired. You know, this one does have the aromatics that one does have. the sage, the lavender, all of that good stuff. You get a good dose of that in here. You do get this ambery base as well, but also it's not quite the same as Y EDP. It's not as sweet. It's not as loud. This one's actually a little bit more refined, a little bit more smooth and less in your face. And I think that actually adds to the versatility of this scent. I could go on and talk about what I think makes a scent versatile, but this video is going to be too long. You got to have the right amount of projection, but then the right amount of subtlety as well. And I think this one nails it really good. And you thought I was going to go into a 10-minute long rampage there, didn't you? But I tried my best. On to the next one. We have Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum. Haven't featured this one in a while. I think since summer, right? This one really blew me away this past summer. Love it. It's got mineral notes and orange and sea notes, patchouli. It's kind of like a mix of a bunch of the popular Acqua di Gio fragrances, but then with its own twist, being that this has just simply a mature take on the original EDT that was released back in the 90s. You guys know Acqua di Gio, and it's a great timeline because maybe you were wearing the original back when you were in high school, smelled great, you got a lot of attention from it. Now, over 20 years later, you're a different person. You're grown up, maybe you've got a family, maybe you've got a career that you take very seriously and just a lot of responsibilities. This is more suited to that person now, the older, more mature, successful person. So it's kind of cool that you now have an Acqua di Gio that still plays off that original that you wore over 20 years ago, but it just makes it more mature. I think it's great. For me, I didn't wear it 20 years ago because I, wasn't even alive, right? I was barely. So this I can wear and just be confident in no matter what situation I'm in because it just works for anything. Next up, Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme. This is the Le Parfum version here. One that got kind of swept under the rug when it first came out just because it doesn't really necessarily offer anything groundbreaking, and a flanker doesn't have to. A fragrance in general doesn't have to. I think we've kind of conditioned ourselves to think that everything new has to be different and unique, and I've fallen down that trap as well. But anymore, I just appreciate a nice smelling scent, and that's what this one is. Think of the original L'Homme DNA, kind of that apple, woody, warm, spicy, gentlemanly smell, mixed with a little Y EDP from the same brand, different line. It's kind of what this one has. So it's got a touch of blue fragrance feel in here, and you can kind of see that by the bottle. And it smells amazing. It is a great, great flanker. They really did a good job of mixing a couple different styles here. Something mature and gentlemanly, and something a little bit more youthful and playful. They did a great job. It's very versatile, and it smells amazing. Yet another versatile king that we really can't skip on. I wanted to keep it to a minimum here with the overwhelmingly big blue fragrances, so I chose this one for it. Bleu de Chanel. Of course, with this video, you could have tossed in any of your Sauvages, your Dylan Blues, your Aqua Atlantiques, and so on. Basically, pick your favorite blue fragrance and toss it in. Not saying this is my favorite blue fragrance, but it's the one I wanted to go with, just because it was kind of the first one, right? Figured I might as well throw it in. Bleu de Chanel EDP, right? Obviously started with the EDT, but the EDP, I think, between all of the flankers, which there's only 3 Bleu de Chanels, this one right in the middle has the right balance. If I had to pick my favorite Bleu de Chanel, it would be the Parfum, but I think all around, putting your money on the most versatile one, I think the EDP just does it the best, and it smells amazing. I don't have to explain this one to you, but just know if you invest your money into this, it's gonna pay off immediately because you can wear it anytime. Hit up a little cologne up next, a little bit of a revenge fragrance. It's Montblanc Explorer, Creed Aventus cologne. When Creed copied, what was it? Montblanc Individuel with original Centel. Montblanc was like, all right, you know what? It's our turn to have some fun. And so they went and they cloned the most popular Creed fragrance. The Creed fragrance that really kind of blew the house up to an extreme amount. They were already doing well with Green Irish Tweed and so on, but I mean, Aventus is their bread and butter. And this one smells really nice. It's Aventus inspired, of course. Get that nice bergamot, pineapple-y, semi-sweet, fruity opening, dries down to some nice woods. Very affordable, $40, $50 online, and very versatile. There's a great cheapie done by master perfumer Alberto Marias. It's Aqua Essenziale Colonia. It's got watery notes, sage, lavender, some just aromatics in general in here, basically, with a watery twist. Basically, and you can even tell this by looking at the bottle, it's a little bit more classic, a little bit more mature, but not too far in that direction. Still very wearable. You know, I don't think many teenagers are going to be gravitating towards this one, or even young adults in general. I really like it, but you know, I'm doing this at a high level here. I have a lot of stuff, so you know, I appreciate kind of the more traditional smelling fragrances. So probably going to be for my older audience in general. But you know, it doesn't matter. Anyone can wear this if they like it. Very versatile. It's also very affordable. That's why I kind of want to throw it in here. It's a nice middle ground if you don't want to spend a ton of money and you want something a little bit more mature and masculine, and again, a little bit more traditional feeling. Check this one out. Second to last, John VARVATOS Artisan Pure. So this one here, a little hair issue there, has clementine, orange, petitgrain, neroli, woods. It smells like you're out in a garden in the springtime. Easiest way to put it. You know, when it comes to doing a versatile fragrances video, typically they're going to trend in the fresher direction because it's the safest. Now look, obviously fresh fragrances aren't the best choice for wintertime, okay? This isn't the best choice for wintertime, but when it comes to versatility, this can be worn in the wintertime easier than something like Spice Bomb Extreme can be worn in the summertime. Does it make sense, right? It's probably common sense to a lot of us, but some people out there might be like, oh, Artisan Pure, versatile in the wintertime? How does that work? Well, you got to choose something to be versatile, right? A fragrance is either going to be fresh leaning or sweet leaning, to combine it into two big categories. And from there, you can break it down further and go into fresh spicy, warm spicy, sweet, aquatic, citrusy, whatever. But pretty much all fragrances are going to fall into either fresh or sweet, or a mix of the two. So you got to choose which is going to work all year round, and it's going to be on the fresher end of the spectrum. And I figured, you know, we got to put in a DIOR fragrance in this list because, well, I didn't put one in. Sauvage, again, would have been an obvious choice, but I didn't want to clog it up with a bunch of the big blues. And I really featured every main big designer for the most part. YSL, Versace, Chanel, Dior, Armani. I mean, pretty good, right? And so I figured, gotta have a DIOR, right? DIOR Homme 2020. This is going to have a whole bunch of cashmere and vetiver, ISO-E Super, and it's a modern men's fragrance. Actually smells really nice, very woody, very dry and masculine, and just something you can wear for literally anything. You know, it's not going to be one that completely blows you away. Really, probably none of these will for the most part, but that's not what we're going for. We're going for versatility, and this, rest assured, can be used for any situation. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. 10 Hall of Fame versatile men's fragrances. If you just don't want to stress, if you just want to have fun with this hobby and wear stuff that's gonna have you smelling good so you can get people's attention around you, just go for any of these 10 or a handful of them. You really aren't going to have any redundancy within this video, so if you just didn't want to worry about it, you want to have a carefree collecting experience, pick up multiple of these. You can't go wrong. So again, I will provide links down below. Also encourage you to head over to the community tab when you're done watching this and you're done subscribing and hitting the like button and checking out the deals. Amazing stuff going on over there. And hopefully you guys can make use of them. Get subscribed so you see those deals so you don't miss out. Rare stuff coming in all the time, and I don't want you to miss out. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.